Shut up and sit down.
Hello, Internet peoples! We are back after a week off due to some real life issues, such as Galv couldn't make it and something came up for me, aka I had to pick up people at the airport. So that was fun. But, you know, things happen. Anyway, I am Driven Dresden. With me, as usual, is Galv. I think that's Galv.
Hello.
Hi, Galv. You look a lot like JL and Brack in this picture. Of course, I look like.
Am.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this picture, I look a lot like Mike Morehaime, and so you know, I don't think that joke's gonna go.
But unlike Morehaime, normally your hair is pulled back a little tighter.
Yeah, I'd probably be
it's
more
a loose ponytail.
I'd probably be more of the Brack on that one. Anyway, first bad joke aside, I would say bad jokes, but let's face it. Where are you? You're going to have some bad jokes here. How have you been? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, no, I've been really good. Kids have birthdays and all sorts of other stuff going on. Getting the house ready for a garage sale and trying to keep up with Raid in between. So, and work's been busy too. Yeah. How have you been?
Busy. One positive, I got a 370 Azerite piece out of my weekly today, or my daily today, the emissary.
Nice.
But I don't know that it's an actual upgrade. I mean, it says it is.
Not enough haste, huh?
Well, there's no haste on it at all. Sorry. Fun times.
Oh, yeah. Ridgemont High around the corner, man.
Anyway.
And
was dog sitting. I was dog sitting, so that's
gotcha.
What that was.
There's also a ton of things that have happened since the last time we were together. Like with Blizzard.
Giggity?
Wow. That's not what I was talking about.
Let's just move away from that real quick, because
okay.
that's just wrong on so many levels. First up, and I don't have everything in the show notes, so if we miss anything, that's kind of on me. Also, we're covering 2 weeks worth of stuff, so
we'll try to be brisk, baby.
Yes, we'll be brisk. We'll be a weird meat dish that some people like and most people don't. Anyway, first up, Mike Morehaime. If you notice the title screen, he is no longer CEO of Blizzard. He stepped down. He's still working at Blizzard, technically. He's strategy director, strategy advisor, something like that. But he is no longer the guy in charge.
So I always wonder to myself when something like that happens, is he handpicking himself a job that he's interested in? Is kind of his golden parachute.
The way it sounded to me was, instead of just leaving, he wanted to still be involved, but he didn't want to be dealing with all the CEO stuff anymore. So he's like, I'm just going to help with the game side of it for now, and you can take care of the office work side of it.
Nice.
That's how it sounds to me anyway. JL and Brack is taking over. He has been on the WoW team for quite a while. So we got a WoW guy up in front, so maybe we'll get some more WoW stuff. Who knows? And then when when Brack decides to leave, that just means the next guy in charge of WoW is Ian. So maybe Ian will be CEO. That's probably not going to be what happens.
So the question is, does that mean that whoever's in charge of WoW is the CEO, or is that just how it goes?
I think it's just he was the guy who did it because everyone else didn't want it. Anyone else that would have been above him and like for closer in line. And they just gave it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it. What is this job?" But we're kidding. Anyway, best of luck to him. Hopefully, it sounded like it was a decision for Morehaime to drop out, and not a "hey, get out" kind of thing from stockholders and Activision and stuff like that. So,
yeah, CEOs don't often get booted. Like, there would be a lot more news out there if it had been an unwilling exit. So it's almost certainly his idea, like a pseudo-retirement sort of thing. But obviously he still wants to do stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, the interesting thing is, are we finally going to get... So if we're thinking Ian, maybe? Is that what you're talking?
Oh, that'd be a long ways away before that would happen. There's other people in line ahead of him. Moving on, though, I mean, that was big news. I'd love to spend more time on it, but we got 2 weeks to deal with, so we're going to move on. The BlizzCon store is now open, so if you have your BlizzCon ticket or virtual ticket, just make sure you're logged in. Go over there, and there's tons of new stuff. But there is one thing missing that I saw in a promo pic that wasn't in the store, and that's the Junkrat Riptire backpack.
I would also like to offer a dissenting view on the quality of those statues. They have a Greymane and a Sourfang statue.
Those are not the super duper high quality statues.
No kidding. Well, I'm just saying that the art that they used for it was like the art from like Star Wars Attack of the Clones style art. Like it's my least favorite style that they offer.
It's an interesting take on with the style and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think they're awful, but at the same time, I'm not going to spend money on them either. So
they remind me of like Ambios.
Amiibo?
Whatever. Amiibos.
I know someone who collects them. That's the only reason I know. But, I mean, there's tons of stuff, including some interesting things to go with Diablo. Things that have names involved. And that's just... Between that, the Diablo is the first thing on the What's Next panel right after opening ceremonies on the main stage. I mean, there's so many things, and they've got some Diablo announcements, and we might have some spoilers. We're not going to go into a whole lot of detail when we get there, but we do have Diablo news. So
I don't think that breaking a possible chunk of news is a spoiler. I think giving away secrets of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair topic.
Yeah.
Not a spoiler.
Yeah, there is that. There was a few things in the store, though, that I thought, that would be kind of cool. And I do have BlizzCon Balance, whatever it's called. Blizzard Balance. From whenever I had to buy extra freaking tokens for the virtual ticket because it costed $10 more. I was like, I could maybe squeeze that out, or I could save it and just buy a month a while later. You know. But
I'm just staring at some of the pins and the other stuff now.
Yeah, lots of cool
some
pins.
of it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff in the store, and I wish I had the money to buy most of it. Well, not most of it, some of it anyway.
As opposed to the statues, which I'm not a fan of, their Cute But Deadly series is actually pretty neat. If you haven't seen those yet, those are like the minifigs with the they're not like pop vinyls, but they're like minifigs, and those are pretty cool.
Yeah, the pins I'm looking at, I was like, ooh, that looks cool. I'm not a pin collector, so it really doesn't do much. The shirt, I always like it, getting the key art shirts. Same when I go to a concert, I like getting concert shirts, stuff like that. And I'm literally scrolling down right now.
There's a Mercy backpack which looks okay, and then they've got the Ginger Maris from Overwatch, but they don't have them unless there's more than one color. This one's just the brown variety, so it's kind of like we wish that they had enough. You could like buy a packet, a bundle of them. You could like kick around your room, like when you're blowing stuff up in the Overwatch openings.
Yeah, the Ravenlord poster I thought looked kind of cool. Not $14 cool, but I do like the art on it. I'm not giving that game like in-game lore and stuff like that. I was never really a huge fan of. I understand why they did it, but the Diva bunny pillow I thought was amusing.
Yes.
But Lego Bastion and with the Omnic skin. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff. The Overwatch sheet set. Oh, that's not something I'm gonna get. But
What? What do you mean? Don't you want to wrap yourself in world protection?
Yeah. One thing I did want to mention though, if you go, is literally if you're on the in the shop, right underneath the Overwatch sheet, the Overwatch Winter Wonderland Omni Cracker T-shirt. If you take a look at that and you get up close, there's something on there that I think they didn't mean to release early.
I will get up on there in a second. And by the way, that Lego, I thought we were going to talk about that later, but that is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I can't get to that T-shirt yet. I'm still looking.
Here, I'll just copy the link, and I will put it here in the chat room. There you go. Whoops, that's not right. Copy link. There we go. Fail on my part. But yeah.
I see. I am almost there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you go to this, and there's the Nutcracker Zenyatta, which we already have in game. It's in there already. But behind him, it looks like there's a Junkrat skin that's not there yet. So, is that a oops, we revealed it early? A Christmas Junkrat? Like, he's not a Grinch, but like Krampus or something?
If you're not already logged in, you can't see that item. That link's no good.
Well, you have to have it's one of the BlizzCon things. You have to have the virtual ticket. You have to already have it, that. So, if you can't see it, you don't have access to it. But either way, it looks like there's a Junkrat skin that might have been a leak. They're like, oops. And if it's not, then it's not. But
I see it. I see it over his left shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was
catch.
I saw that and I was like, guys. And the other one doesn't have anything on it. But yeah, I'm not going to go into all the way through this. There's so much stuff in there. A lot of it is interesting. Some of it is really cool. Some of it is... yeah. It just depends on what you like. Like for me, I know some people like collecting the pins.
That's true. Pins are a big thing.
I don't collect the pins, so to me the pins are eh. Anything Mercy related is eh.
You know what I like? I like in-game loot.
I normally do too. This year though,
rip.
Yeah. So
I'm not talking Riptire either. I'm talking.
Yeah. Give me a WoW pet of the Riptire. That'd be great.
Oh, that would be freaking awesome if it was a version of Junkrat's Riptire and it followed you around as a mechanical pet.
Or if it was like one of those ones you get in and control, like one of the toys, and you just
That would
go
be
around,
cool.
but make it so that it cannot aggro mobs because
It should pop at the end, like with streamers and party favors and stuff like
oh
that.
no,
You know,
make
like
it
a
you can make it blow up and stuff like that, and then you come back and you're stunned for a second or whatever. But don't let it
right,
aggro things because that would be
like
terrible.
Kilrog's eye, whatnot.
Yeah, there are some toys that aggro bosses, and that's always fun. But yeah, the end game so far: the Sombra Demon Hunter skin in Overwatch. Warcraft got a couple banners and a cape.
Right.
Heroes got a new mount. It's a shark. It's a mechanical shark, so you can do that for your water-based needs. And a couple of like sprays and icons and stuff. Hearthstone. We haven't covered this yet, but they announced Hearthstone within the last 2 weeks, and you're getting 10 packs of old packs.
Yes.
So
I got to go double check on that because I think I might have mentioned something like that 2 weeks ago, but there's something new since then.
I think that was the only thing that's the only thing I've seen. But either way, the rewards seem meh this year. Like if with Hearthstone, and I don't play Hearthstone, so this is going to be a completely biased opinion. It's lackluster. You're getting a card back, and I think like 10 older packs, like 2 of each expansion of whatever.
So, shall we just knock on Hearthstone real quick here? Because you're totally right. As part of the gift bundle, you get it's 10 card packs with the virtual ticket and a unique card back. Yes. There's also right now they've got out a unique welcome bundle where you get 10 packs and a legendary dragon from the original series. So that's a pretty good deal that's out right now, price wise. It's $10. So I feel like here's why I brought that up, and here's why I jumped ahead. So if you can buy a $10 pack that's got you 10 classic packs plus a guaranteed legendary dragon, random one of the legendary dragons, that seems to me like a much better reward than the 2018 BlizzCon card back in 10 packs.
Yeah, I hate being negative, believe it or not. But this year's, like the goodie box, I have no interest at all in. I do like the rewards in WoW, but they're still lackluster to me. It's banners and a cape. Honestly, Overwatch got the best thing, and that was a skin, and it doesn't even say BlizzCon on it.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't know, as far as I haven't seen. I haven't seen the Diablo or the StarCraft, but StarCraft's going to be sprays, or not sprays, but like player icons and stuff like that. Nothing huge there. And Diablo, it'll probably maybe be a pet. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be something lackluster, like the entire thing. I'm hoping the actual BlizzCon, like the announcements are huge, and they're just like, yeah, those things we gave you already, you're getting something else too. I mean, yeah, we're getting Classic WoW demo, which a lot of people are like, oh my god, we get to play Classic WoW. I was like, it's a demo. At most, you got 5 levels. And those 5 levels are going to take you 7 hours.
I'm not holding my breath for anything better to show up. I think that they've shot their wad for the big 10th anniversary, and
yeah. I mean, this might be a reset year.
So, like resetting expectations year.
in terms of what you get, like there's been a whole bunch of years where they got, oh my holy crap, there's all this stuff. Like back when it was just BlizzCon, no virtual ticket, they had those big statues, which I know people who have most of them.
Yeah.
And then once the virtual ticket happened, they stopped doing those. They started getting smaller, and then they opened it up to everybody who could go or got the virtual ticket could buy. which I think is a great idea, but I'm just seeing the decline in, oh my god, of the goodie bag.
I don't see anything in the goodie bag that I'm
Yeah.
not going to get it.
Yeah, it's not on my list, sadly. I like getting them, but it's not on my list. And then the in-game stuff, WoW usually got a pet or a mount, or sometimes both. Something Murloc related, at least. And this year, there's not a Murloc to be found. WoW is the one I'm actually hoping they give something else at BlizzCon. It'll probably, if we get anything, it'll be Diablo related, because Diablo is going to be the big thing this year.
I think that they're missing the mark in a really bad way, not having some sort of murky. I mean, that's been a tradition. I think that people, there's two things, and I know they cross a bunch of the games between Diablo, Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, etc. Is the Murloc, like Mercadin and all that stuff, and Pepe. Like those two things could really, they could do every year a new Pepe outfit, and every year a new Mercadin in game.
Yeah, they're still doing Pepe in WoW. You have to find them and stuff, but
yeah, but I mean like a plush, or an outfit for your plush Pepe. Like there's some of
Ganymede,
that stuff.
The Bastion bird, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think they're missing the mark on those unless they're trying to hold on to that ammunition for some other initiative. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, hey, we're not going to do Pepe because if we do like Hurricane Harvey relief, we want to be able to roll out, the Pepe plush and get donations.
I guarantee you they've got some stuff held back, that like pets and stuff. Like they rolled out the 1 year. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. They rolled it out early because of the hurricane. So like, yeah, we were going to do this at BlizzCon, but here you go. It's early.
Right. So that's one. I haven't been holding my breath for better stuff, but I'm hoping that something like that's going on, because if they're holding it off to donate to the Red Cross or something, I'll give them a pass. If they're not and they just don't have any of that stuff, I think they're letting merch opportunities slip by from people who are absolutely frothing for new stuff this year.
Yeah.
So you'd think you'd feed that ticket, right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. This year in particular, I'm looking at all the stuff we're getting. Not the store, but the in-game special stuff that you get just for buying the virtual ticket. And yeah, I know you don't buy the virtual ticket for this stuff, but a lot of people do. And I'm just looking at it like, if I was one of those people, everything I have to see free is going to be free. Like the opening ceremony is free. The concert, free. Esports are free. I don't have to buy the virtual ticket. It's the panels that I'm paying for. And then the in-game stuff. So I'm looking at it like, I paid $50. Understandable, new stuff, but if I was just going by items alone, I'd feel ripped off. So, I know. Like I said, I hate being negative, but this year just seemed meh in terms of rewards.
So let's turn it around and say, wow, it's so amazing, all the cool stuff they've done in past years.
And some of them, yeah, some of them were great. And there's no new major statue this year either. I mean, I don't mean like for free. I mean like they haven't announced any huge new statue. Like last year, I think was Sylvanas,
which was epic.
Yeah, people went crazy over that, or at least right before it. But I just okay, well, whatever. Moving on though, we did mention Diablo earlier.
Speaking of, yeah,
there we have Diablo news, and by that I mean there was a possible leak, or it's just one guy who is spitballing and someone took notice. We don't know. But the short version is, we all know there's something major Diablo coming. Whether it is, besides it on the Switch. There's something from Diablo happening, because just given that the first panel on the main stage after the opening ceremony is, what's next? World End stuff for Diablo. Something's coming.
Now, before I postulated to you that this is not a spoiler to discuss this leak, unless someone's like, "Well, I don't want to hear anything until I hear the panel at BlizzCon." Is it your intention to discuss this leak?
Yeah.
Because I found it a fascinating read.
I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. If you are live in chat room and you do not want to hear this, I'm going to have my hands up. I'm going to have at least one hand up, my left hand here, while we're talking about it. As soon as I'm done, I'll put my hand down. So feel free to mute if you don't want to hear it. If you are watching later, mute and just keep looking. We're not going to have any like cool effects on the screen or anything like that. So just the hand up. But it looks like we're going to get a Diablo MMO.
Yes, something like World of Sanctuary is the idea.
Diablo 4 or World of Sanctuary. Yeah. If it's an MMO, as long as it doesn't have a $15 subscription, if it's a buy and play, and then it has microtransactions for whatever, as long as it's not power in game, I'll be fine with it.
I think that it would depend on what they want, where they want to go with it. If it's like a World of Warcraft but set in the world of Sanctuary, I would not begrudge them a sub fee, although perhaps it would just be a Blizzard sub fee. Like if you're subscribing to World of Warcraft, back when they had Sony Online Entertainment, you get the Station Pass, and you got EverQuest, Star Wars, Star Trek, all on the same bundle or whatever it was. Like that would make sense to me if they did something like that, because I don't think paying subs for the two different categories would be good, if that makes sense.
All right, and we're getting stuff from the chat room saying it's not an MMO. It'll be a zoneless multiplayer world, but not an MMO.
That
Okay,
could be good too.
So they basically have confirmed it's a multiplayer Diablo game. If they've actually come out and said it's not an MMO and this is
That's
what
fantastic.
it is.
I've been tired of playing Diablo by myself for the last couple of years. It's nice to be able to play with a friend now.
Yeah, I played Diablo like 3 days out of the season, and then I don't play it again, and I'm just like, whatever.
Well, one big perk is this: if this leak is accurate and this news is accurate, it is a Diablo 4. It's a distinct, unique game, not just a reskin of D3 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that could be really cool.
Yeah, I don't think this is the only thing Diablo related we're going to get, though. I have a feeling we're going to get a Diablo 2, maybe even a 1 remastered.
It'd be nice to have like a legacy game like that available for modern play.
Yeah.
Are we in spoiler-free zone now?
Yeah, sure. We can. I mean, that's pretty much what the thing was. So we can move on. I will check out these.
Did you want to make a BlizzCon prediction about that panel, as far as whether or not it's like a B1 remastered or something like that?
Well, prediction-wise, in terms of Diablo, I'm gonna say we're getting a new game, and then we're gonna get a remaster.
I think that's a fair assessment.
If I was gonna make bets, I'd say Diablo 2 versus Diablo 1, but it's going to be a remaster and a new game.
I know before all that news broke, I had messaged you that I thought that there was a new Diablo game coming, so I also agree as far as BlizzCon predictions, some new Diablo game. And I would buy. I hadn't come up with a remaster, but I think you're probably on the mark with that as well. That way they can keep their. I think Blizzard is better than most companies at keeping their old content relevant. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And we're getting a lot of information in the chat room, so I'm taking a look at that. We got some links I'll have to take a look at in a bit. But
I gotta recycle my chat room to take a look here.
Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty much what we were saying. It'll be kind of like World of Warcraft, but not an MMO. It'll just be multiplayer. So you could probably have I don't know, however big the group size, 4 or 5 or 6, seem to be the standard go-to. Let's see. In terms of StarCraft, there is so much that we got sent that it would take the entire hour to go over all of it.
I would like to let you know and thank you to Alessandra, of course, always giving us good news about StarCraft. What I have distilled that down to is it looks like we have the entirety of the Group A, B, C, D brackets for the BlizzCon finals in place. And one of the things that Group A, you got Thai, Korea, Neeb, USA, Lambo, Germany, and Maru, Korea. So getting someone out of Group A, Maru obviously is highly rated, and even though it would be nice to see the only American Neeb progress, he's going to have to get through Maru. And the other two are pretty good too, so that's going to be... It's just the way that the brackets are set make it so that there's a couple of interesting possibilities, and you could have an all-Korean progression, it looks like to me, unless I'm misunderstanding how the group stage is set.
Yeah, it's going to be... I would love to see Neeb out of that group, but I don't see it. I mean, maybe. It depends on if it's one person out of the group gets out or two. But...
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it'll be interesting.
So straight off the bat, Maru will face Maru will face Thai, so the Koreans are playing each other. And then Lambo from Germany starts off against Neeb. But again, then, that sets up later matches where they still got to get by each other to get out of the bracket, the group stage. So, But it looks like at least Blizzard set it up so that in each of those brackets, the two Koreans in the A, B, C, and D brackets all play each other to start off with. There you go.
We're hoping it won't be Korea versus Korea every single round, so...
Nothing against Korea, just looking for a little diversity in the world stage as well.
No, I mean, it's the finals is going to be Korea versus Korea. That's just how it's going to go. But, yeah, it's going to start before BlizzCon. I'm sure they'll have VODs. And then BlizzCon itself is going to be like the top 8, maybe.
So... Alessandra, our StarCraft expert, has made the BlizzCon prediction that the only non-Korean getting out of group play will be Cyril from Finland. He's in Group B, I believe.
Yeah, Group A is definitely stacked towards Koreans, but if they're going against each other, that one of them is going to have a loss at least, so there's a chance, but low. So who knows?
So, what's after StarCraft on the list? Were you looking at little HOTS? Is that correct?
Yes. If you paid close attention to the title screen, which I will bring back up again, if you pay close attention to the very back, near the middle, behind our logo and behind Junkrat, you'll see everyone's favorite Demon Lord, the one, the only Mal'Ganis.
God, I thought you were looking at Morehaime there. I'm like, we don't need Morehaime as the next HOTS character.
That would be funny, though. That would be completely Blizzard meta. He'd be like, yeah, you can't hurt me.
Epic ability, retired to development section.
That'd be his level 30. He's the only character that gets a level 30 ability.
Like Chromie has their epic one level early, Morehaime gets a third.
Yeah, he gets an extra alt. Retire. But it buffs the rest of his group. That'd be funny. But yeah, Mal'Ganis is coming. He's in PTR right now, so we'll get him Tuesday. I honestly was not expecting another hero before BlizzCon. I thought they were just going to be like, yeah, whatever. And we got a hero. And to me, it's a BlizzCon-worthy hero. Mal'Ganis is a huge name.
Yeah, he's he is a major character in lore. Frankly, there's a lot of demon lords that you could really pull out of the Legion for Heroes of the Storm. And it's a little surprising that there's so few of them so far. I guess what you got, 2? Is this the third?
In Heroes?
Yeah.
He's the
Just
first.
the second.
Well, depends on how you look at it. If you count the Dreadlord Jaina skin, then he's the second. If you don't count that, then he's the first.
You know what? I was thinking Asmodan, but he is actually from Diablo, even though he
Diablo.
looks like a couple of the Dreadlords. So Mal'Ganis is the first. And if you remember his character from from Warcraft, he used some vampiric touch. He did some stuff where he put people to sleep, diseases. It'll be interesting to see how they're incorporating these in here. Have you looked at the preview yet?
I've not only looked at the preview, but I downloaded the PTR again and checked him out.
Okay, what's your first impression?
My first impression is he's a little bit. He's got a high skill ceiling and a medium skill floor. So he's not an easy character to play, except for the fact that no one knows how to counter him right now. So he seems overpowered. Like he just goes in. If he's got a healer with him, he's probably not going to die because everything he does leeches health back.
Right, the vampiric touch and the other stuff that looks like it plays off of that.
And then he's got two ult abilities. One is he turns into bats and he slows the enemies and does some damage. But the one I'm really looking at that I haven't really got to see a whole lot of, it's a health swap. If you can get that cast off while you're low enough health, but high enough that you're not going to die,
right?
It swaps the health between you and the other one. It's not instant, so you could still die. But basically, if you're at 10% and they're at 90% over like 8 seconds or something like that, those healths swap. So they're at 10 and you're at 90. Minus, healing and damage done, all that. But.
So I'm looking at that as how much is it percent of health?
All of it. Whatever Mal'Ganis' health is versus his target, they swap. But it's not instantaneous. It's X amount over. It's that amount over however many seconds it's set up as. So if it's 8 seconds, they just swap over 8 seconds. One drains while the other goes. Like, let's say it's like this. Over 8 seconds, it would do this.
So I'm looking at that right now, and I'm wondering to myself if there is. It's so fast. It looks like if you used like what's it, Mosh Pit or something, and you had a guy stun locked, he could swap that out. It only takes about a second or two to like an eternity in HOTS, but it doesn't take very long for that to complete.
You can only use it on enemies. I know that much. And I don't think it's actually 8 seconds. I'm just saying 8 seconds. It's probably
it looks like
closer
it's
to 4.
less than 3.
Yeah, it's like
less than 3.
It's like 2, 3, 4, somewhere around there. It's not as long as 8 seconds. I was just throwing a number out because I couldn't remember the exact number. But it's a 100% health swap. It's if I have 1 HP and I'm able to get that cast off on someone who has 100% of their HP, whenever it's done, they're at 1 and I'm at full, or whatever their health was.
I'm seeing that as a potentially devastating ability against an enemy tank during a 5v5 where there's a stun lockout. Where basically you grab their tank like Diablo or whatever and siphon off his entire health pool in no time. Yeah,
that would be a huge thing for a high health character. He can only go up so high because he's got a max health pool.
Percent based instead of HP based.
It's HP based.
Matter.
It's HP based.
Okay.
So, like I said, if Mal'Ganis has 1 and he's able to get that cast off, the other person will have 1, no matter how much health he's draining, and then he'll be full. The problem is he is so easily to get stunned, and if he's that low to begin with, it's very dangerous. Because it's not a huge cast range. It's not like across the map.
Yeah, it's relatively close.
Yeah. So, it sound like I saw that and I was like, holy crap, that's going to be OP. And then I tried it and I was like, it's not quite as OP as I thought because he can get stunned and killed while it's going off and it'll still drop the other character, but you're dead.
Not
so
OP enough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not OP enough. It's probably still OP, to be 100% honest, because I was playing a little reckless.
I imagine that 1v1 it doesn't work well, but like I said, if it's in concert with other players,
1v1
I think gets stunned.
1v1, you could troll the heck out of somebody and just let them get close to killing you, and they're just like being And then you'd be like, okay, my turn. But I was watching Iron Man earlier because I was out at my mom's, and he's got that big metal suit, and he comes out of the thing, and he's getting all shot up, and he's like, "Okay, my turn, flamethrower." It's gonna be one of those
Nice.
moments. But yeah, it'll be
it's nice
interesting.
that they add another troll-style character to Heroes of the Storm.
He's a demon, though.
Troll demon with horns and everything.
So vote no. All right, so we've been going through and making a couple predictions, like with Diablo, StarCraft. We haven't really done any predictions because I don't think we're going to get anything new. So it's literally an esports prediction, and I haven't looked up enough to know. Outside of it'll be a Korean. That's who's going to win.
Well, but the guy from Finland.
Finland's part of Korea, though, right?
Yeah, according to Alessandro, it is.
No, that was the joke. But so every BlizzCon we've been getting we've been getting 2 heroes. One has been a freaking weird character, and one has been a normal kind of thing. Probably we'll get a map or a game type or something like that. So, who do you think we're gonna get, or do you think we're gonna get a new hero or heroes at BlizzCon?
I think they're going to give us someone on top of Mal'Ganis. I couldn't tell you exactly who that could be. Maybe, Anduin?
I don't think we're going to get Anduin. I got 2 ideas in mind, though. One is from Warcraft. I got one idea from Warcraft and one from Diablo. That's 2 heroes. I think Heroes is going to get their first Naga. I think we're going to get Queen Ashara. Then that'll be the weird. That'll be the weird one. It'll show us something strange, but like we always get a weird one. Like Ragnaros can become buildings and stuff like that. You know, we've always gotten some weirdo hero at BlizzCon. Plus, Cho'Gall was another one we got at BlizzCon. It was 2 heroes in 1. So you always get some weird mechanic.
I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna one up you. Then let me know when you're done.
Go ahead.
Not gonna be Queen Ashara. It's going to be N'Zoth. And he's going to have Abathur-like play where he can corrupt his own team and they get a trade-off of stuff. How about that?
I can almost guarantee that won't happen because there's too many people complaining about Abathur to begin with. And if there's another one who literally doesn't leave base, not going to happen. I would love to see it.
Well,
but
not necessarily that couldn't leave base, but if I was going to say your Ashara one sort of set me off there because I'm like, they don't have Abathur and Murky are kind of unique in that respect, right? They're somewhat remote or they've got sort of things, but I think N'Zoth that would be off the wall.
If we were going to get an old god of any kind, it would be Xal'atath, the Priest's Blade, which there's a reason why I would say that. But without going into spoilers, I can't go into it, so that we're just going to drop it there. But I don't think we're going to get an old god. It would be too difficult because they're just too massive. They're just... Like, Ragnaros is a huge character. So is Cho'Gall. You can't... Like, in Deathwing, you're not going to see Deathwing. They're just too massive of a character to put in there. You could get... Netharian, or before he turned into Deathwing.
Black Prince.
You could get Rathian too. You could get Deathwing before he became Deathwing, because he wasn't as big. But once he became Deathwing, his size just went boop.
Yeah, and I feel like that they are getting their way through the aspects to the dragons, so we will get some more of those, like Malgos or something like that. But I was just thinking. That could be like not a Cthulhu, obviously, he's sort of stationary, but N'Zoth doesn't feel like he would have to be stationary, right? He doesn't necessarily have to be a stationary character.
I don't think any of them would have to be, but at the same time, just in terms of sheer size, these guys are like city size.
That's a fair point.
So...
Cahoon's not. Cahoon's not city sized.
No,
he's slug sized.
He's not a real old god anyway. But... The second one I'm thinking, because Diablo is going to be such a big prominent thing this year, we're going to get another Diablo character. So I went looking.
Okay.
I was like, who do we got so far? We got a few of the demons. We got 2 of the angels, but we have more demons than angels. So that means it's probably going to be an angel. Imperius.
Tank?
I would say bruiser. Like, not quite tank, but not quite DPS. He's going to be in that middle. Kind of like a Sonya is, or if Zul's played properly. Can be, but more Sonya than anyone else. Arthas is kind of a bruiser.
All right. I'm kind of buying.
Yeah.
Does that seem big enough? Is that BlizzCon worthy? Because that seems to me like it would be something that would come down the pike any old time.
People have been asking. Well, I think that he's the normal one. Like, we got Gen Greymane with, I think it was the same year as Cho'Gall, but then we also got Lunar at the same time. So we got the 3.
Right.
3.5, however you want to look at it. So it is possible we'll get more, but I think the fact that we're gonna get a Naga to go with, to match with WoW.
What about a Hearthstone character?
No.
Not yet.
Well, in terms of like Hearthstone lore, like the cartoon stuff, no. If you're looking at like the in-game characters, we got most of them already, except for Anduin. So.
No, I'm talking about they tried to push some unique Hearthstone original characters.
Yeah, I don't see that.
So that's okay.
There's too many big names in Blizzard before they get to those.
Okay. All right, so there's a prediction. I'll take your prediction on that one.
We did get a thing in chat. I presume revolving around your N'Zoth idea. What if N'Zoth was the map and he just messed with both teams? I could see that an old god related map, but I don't think it would be N'Zoth directly. I think it would be more like the Black Empire map, and then he'll be something off in the distance where you could almost kind of see one of the tentacles or something.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I could see that, but in terms of a playable character, no.
But you know the big flaw with my idea and that proposition? There's no old gods here. None to see here.
Well, this is Heroes, not Warcraft. So.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, do you have any other possible ideas for Heroes? I mean, we pretty much, that's what they normally do. Maybe another game mode, but I can't really think of what it would be.
I think that they need to do a little more arcade style, like Overwatch has with Heroes of the Storm. Just because I feel like that you got to have some more like that. So a game mode might be there, or possibly a way that they can incorporate previous game modes into the regular rotation. Because I think that's a successful pattern that they have started developing. So that could be good. So just something to sort of spice that up, but nothing earth-shattering, because I think that Heroes is divided into either casual questing style play or ranked style play right now, with not a whole lot in the middle.
I kind of want to see, and I would probably never play it, or at least not very often. You know how Overwatch has random heroes?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Where every time you die, you get someone that you could get the same character, but you're gonna get someone new more than likely.
Sure. Yep.
I wouldn't mind seeing that in Heroes, but that would be so much coding for that one map, because you'd have to have it would be preset who you're gonna get.
But what if it was like a death style match where essentially both teams had access to the full roster, and as people got killed off, that person's eliminated from the roster of available players, and they were randomly assigned to.
I don't want that to happen. That would be that would take forever to play, because there's like 80 characters now.
Well, yeah, but maybe it's like a smaller roster, like 6 at a go.
Yeah.
Like you get to pick 6. Or you get to pick, and your choice is
teams
a bucket of 3.
Teams are 5 people, so each person could have 3 people or something like that.
Right, where they buy a bucket of 3, but when their 3 are done, they're out, maybe.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like a death match.
It could be interesting. There's a bunch of different things I'd be like, that'd be kind of cool.
Like Overwatch has going on
Yeah.
in their multiple arcade mode features.
Yep. Speaking of Overwatch, we mentioned Bastion Legos
Yes!
earlier.
Which is phenomenal. God, if I could get that, that'd be great.
That's one of the few things of Legos that I wouldn't mind getting, just because, one, I like playing Bastion, despite the fact that everyone hates him. I was playing, was it this Sunday or last Sunday? It was last Sunday. We canceled last week, so it was the day after that. I got to play. We went to, it was me and a bunch of people, a couple of people I knew and some people I didn't know. Went into custom games, and it was capture the flag all night. I was like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. There was not really a whole lot of XP going on, but no problem. I had so much fun. I only played Bastion a couple times, and it was when I knew we needed the extra oomph. Like the instantaneous, we have to melt someone now.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I played defense the entire night.
Gotcha. That makes more sense.
I spent most of my night on Junkrat, though. And the other team hated me because they never... It took them... we played for like 3 hours. It took them over 2 to figure out whenever I'm playing. And if I'm on Junkrat, there is a steel trap on our flag. Every time.
How did they not know that?
That's
the default play.
They just never paid attention. Plus, I stayed back as Junkrat and kept them away from the flag to begin with. I mean, we didn't win every game. The skill levels were way different a lot. But it took them that long to figure it out because they just never paid attention. And there was a couple times that I bounced them over the flag and they missed the trap but got the flag. And, stuff happens. But it was just really funny. It took them like 2 hours to figure out, oh, there's a trap there every time. Someone's like, yeah, he's done that every time. Like,
Right.
I was like, that's how you play Junkrat on here. And then I got play of the game quite a few times because Junkrat's Riptire is just freaking OP if they don't shoot it.
It seems like a good way to knock the flag off of someone, too.
Well, we actually ended up having to ban Lucio. Like, he was not allowed because he's the only one that has that speed boost that doesn't drop the flag. So he's running like 20% faster than everybody. You're muted.
Sorry, did Blink drop the flag? I didn't get to play that one.
Any movement ability outside of Lucio's speed boost, and if he hit E during speed boost, that dropped it. But his normal, just general faster didn't. So Pharah couldn't hit shift to fly up in the air. Reaper obviously can't teleport. That kind of stuff.
Was Pharah able to use her general boost flight?
She can, yeah, she could, because it's just jumping. It's just extended jumping. She could do that, yeah. But if she hits the shift to poof, real quick, it dropped. Diva couldn't boost forward, nothing like any of those movement things except for Lucio's
like
just
Mercy
natural.
couldn't fly to someone and...
Nope, that would drop it. Pretty much any ability that in fact impacts movement outside of Lucio's passiveness dropped the flag. So we ended up banning Lucio by the end of the night and we played Mystery Heroes for a while, and I found out why I don't play Mystery Heroes. It's because I hate it. I'm good. I'm mediocre at like 4 heroes. For the hour and a half that we played Mystery, guess how many times I got to play one of those 4 heroes? I'll give you a hint. It's round.
8.
That's not round. That's... Well, I mean, it's double
It's
round.
entirely round, yeah.
It's double round.
All round.
It's double round, but when you put it together, it's not really round anymore. But yeah, it's just... Nah. I don't like Mystery. I like playing the heroes. Like, if you looked at my play time, you'll see Junkrat at nearly 100 hours played. And then my next one is at like 50. And then my next one's at 25. And my next one is at 10. And then after that, everything's under 1.
So, speaking of, and I know we're on Overwatch, this is possibly my most favoritist time of the year to play Overwatch.
Would it have to do also on the title screen with there's a Roadhog with a terror tattoo on his stomach and a Junkrat with his Junkenstein? Is it Junkenstein time already?
Absolutely. It is time. It is time for Junkenstein's Revenge and a couple of other interesting things. The promo video they put out for the Halloween for Overwatch was really high quality, I thought.
Yeah.
For like just a skin promo, unless there's a new mode.
No, there's no new mode. It's just Junkenstein. There's endless Junkenstein. They did up the heroes. Like you're not stuck with just the 4. There's a few more now. Like Widow is now available. Torbjorn is available. Which, if you don't have a Torbjorn in your game, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
He's just freaking overpowered now because he got his rework, which I didn't know about until after I played Junkenstein. Because I haven't been keeping up on Overwatch nearly as much. But that's, that was me fail.
I might have to do some of that after the podcast.
Brigitte is available, who is one of the 2 default healers, I think. Zenyatta is available. The Symmetry rework is in-game in that version this year, as opposed to last year when it wasn't. Even though she had been reworked. It was funny. But, yeah, it was... But, yeah, the 4 there, Genji's available. Get yourself a Torbjorn. If a Widow can shoot, fine. If not, pick McCree.
Right.
McCree
is always my favorite to play on that.
Yeah. Q for play of the game is almost not even a thing anymore. That's pretty much... I think they made that... Like, you have to do something major with your Q to get it to count, because it's just... I was on McCree for a few games, and I was like... Like, 15 of them died on
You
one.
remember that McCree was about the only way to take out some of those bosses on the original...
Quickly.
The original series.
Yeah,
or the original...
Yeah. Now, you can whittle them down. Torbjorn, like I said, with his turret, his new alt puts lava on the ground, and it just eats things alive, like Junkrat up in the corner. If you can get the lava up there on him, it just eats him alive.
Yeah, that's nice.
So the one that you'll have an issue with is the Roadhog. And if you have a Brigitte, you can interrupt everything he does. Like, oh, I'm going to take a breather to heal up. Stun. You get her, you get Torb. I would say McCree or Soldier would be good. Hanzo maybe. If you have a good Widowmaker, she's not bad because she can just one-shot every single minion.
With a valid headshot, right?
With a valid headshot, yeah. The bosses, they don't get one shot. But it takes a nice chunk out if you get them good. I think you can 3-shot Mercy if you headshot him. And I think it's 5 or 6 for Junkrat, and it just takes forever for a freaking Roadhog.
And not only are the fun modes available, but of course the highlight of the Halloween mode for Overwatch has got to be the skins.
Yep, there's a bunch of new skins out. One of my personal favorites is Doomfish. It looks like... That's
a good one.
Yeah. He looks like he's a fish person. I don't play him, so I'm not planning on getting it. Widowmaker has another one. It's a spider. It's the same outfit. It's just more spidery. There's a few others that I liked. There's Jason Voorhees version for Soldier 76. He's got the hockey mask.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was pretty awesome. And then not Symmetra. Is it Symmetra? Who's the ghoul lady? Who's the ghoul queen? Is that
Sombra?
The hacker? Sombra.
Yeah, I think Sombra has Bride of Frankenstein. Which, okay, I guess.
If anyone's going to be it, she's got the hair for it.
No, you can mess with that. The one everyone is freaking out about, whether for good or bad, has been Hammond or Wrecking Ball. He looks like a
pumpkin.
He's got a pumpkin and he's got a zombie face, and I've heard people say that costume scares them, and I'm just like, it looks kind of cheesy, but okay. I don't see it being scary. Like, none of them's scary to me. But there's some, and Emotes. There's new emotes. Bastion has a zombie emote where he just reaches out his hand and just kind of at you. It's funny. But yeah, I did find, because I hadn't played Overwatch in a while before Junkenstein, if you go into Hero Gallery, there's a new button in there. What's new?
Nice.
And you can go
fishing around
in
right now.
You can go in and be like, these skins are new. They have the cost. These sprays are new with the cost. These player icons are new. These emo. I mean, it's all there. I was like, that was amazing. The fact that
That's
that got
quality
added.
of life improvement.
Yeah, that was great because I was like, I don't want to go through every single hero. And then I saw that button there when I went in there. I was like, I love you, Blizzard. So now I don't have to go through every hero. You can just hit the little "What's new" button.
I'm gonna open. I've got a Halloween box here. I'm gonna open it right
you get a free Halloween box if you log into Overwatch while Junkenstein's going. So be sure to do that. You're not guaranteed a legendary. You are guaranteed one Halloween item. You'll probably get more than that, but you're guaranteed one.
I got here we go. I opened one and it was a golden loot box I had from Prime I hadn't opened yet. So let's see. I got I couldn't tell you what it is. It's the Genji's pumpkin carving highlight intro. Which is awesome because the pumpkin he carves is the head from who's the guy that's the pumpkin head?
Headless Horseman?
Nope. The Blackwatch guy. God.
Reaper.
He's in my Reaper. Yeah, the Reaper the pumpkin-headed guy Reaper skin. It's the pumpkin he carves is that, and I still use that one.
Yeah, I got whenever I opened my Halloween one, I got the Dracula the Dracula skin for Reaper, the one that is in the Junkenstein currently. So I was like, okay, that's not bad, because it wasn't on my list to get. I was hoping for a different one, but again, some of these are 3,000 credits.
Yeah,
and I'm just like.
Swamp Monster is the fish one you were talking about for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doomfist.
Yep.
Yeah. It's Swamp Monster, but everyone says Doomfish.
Banshee is the skin for
Moira. It looks amazing.
Enchanted Armor is a headless armor set for, or it's not headless, but because she holds the helmet at her side, that's Farah.
Yep. And when she dies in that, the armor itself cracks and falls apart. So instead of her falling to her death in the middle of a game, the armor just scatters whenever it hits something.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
This What's New thing is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So, since we're at Overwatch, we've been doing predictions, and I think we're going to get a hero, but I have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm pretty sure it'll be a DPS hero. So there's my Overwatch prediction that is not esport related. Obviously, we're probably going to get a map, because we always do, or a game mode or something. We're going to get something besides a hero, but we're going to get a hero announced, because it's about that time.
I have predictions for you.
I think it's going to be a DPS. So what do you got?
Okay, I took a look at the brackets. So Overwatch has an 8-team international bracket set up for BlizzCon. It's Canada versus France, Finland versus China, USA versus the UK, and South Korea versus Australia. I will tell you, I think that Canada will advance over France, Finland will advance over China, USA will advance over the UK, South Korea will advance over Australia. Finland will take out Canada, South Korea will take out the US, and I think South Korea will defeat Finland in the finals.
Okay.
I sent the bracket to you
yeah,
too, so
I've
you can look at it.
I've got it open here. I'm right there with you, except that I think it will be
China over Finland, do you think?
no. Finland's going
I
to beat
think Finland's
China.
going to take China out, yeah.
Obviously South Korea is going to win the whole thing. U.S. is probably going to beat UK.
Right?
Finland will beat
I,
China, but
I put Canada over France because I've seen a lot of good Canadian players lately, and I don't see a lot of action out of France.
I'm leaning towards Canada there too, but I think Canada will beat Finland.
You think Canada will come out over top of Finland? Okay,
Yeah.
so then South Korea will be on Canada for the final?
Yeah. And I think overall, South Korea will lose a map total.
Wow, that's a bold prediction.
So that's, I mean,
we could both be horribly, horribly wrong, but it'll be interesting after BlizzCon to go back and check on that prediction.
Yep. Whether it's one map or not, who knows? But South Korea is, let's just face it, they're going to win.
Right.
There's almost no competition in the rest of the world. So, there's that. But, come February, right around Valentine's Day, actually, Overwatch League will start up again with 8 new teams. So there's a new format going, and it should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. But for now, BlizzCon.
I'm looking forward to it again.
Yeah. But for now, with BlizzCon, South Korea is going to win. And then a new DPS hero, probably a map. And hopefully...
I think that's about right. I just don't know who the hero would be.
Yeah, I have no idea. But hopefully they go in and be like, yeah, we're going to fix up the custom games, because while it was great that there's so many options, some of them are really hard to find. So hopefully they clean that up. Like, keep all the options. Just make it so you can find stuff easier. I think that would be great. So if you don't have any more predictions for Overwatch or anything else Overwatch related.
Not for Overwatch, no.
Not for Overwatch. Okay, Warcraft. We're going to make this quicker than
normal.
Yeah, quicker than normal. There was a Q&A with Ian. I recommend you watch it. We're going to cover a couple of bits and pieces here and there. But even if you watch live, turn off Twitch chat. Because there's nothing good in Twitch chat during these Q&As. There's my public service announcement for that.
Nice. Point well taken.
Yeah, I mean, you get people complaining and asking questions, and like, this isn't even live. I was like, no, it's live. They're just not taking questions out of the chat room. They ask you to send them in ahead of time. Same as every other one they've ever done. So... they've covered...
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the one thing I took away from watching that is, again, you've got bobblehead lore, which is good. He's good at that role. But they did cover a couple of things.
Ian is the bobblehead.
Oh, Ian's the bobblehead.
Lore is the chia pet.
Yeah, he's just pitching softballs, but that's okay.
Well, there was a few questions in there that I don't think were entirely softballs. I don't think there were any major, like, oh my god questions. But, I mean, they covered Azerite armor, they're working on it, blah, 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 blah.
New traits to replace the old ones, so they're going to do kind of a rework as opposed to just adding new stuff on, which is good. I thought they did a good explanation of things about Azerite armor so that it's not meant to be yet another thing to respec in between each fight, weird stuff like that they went through some good detail on.
Yeah.
But it's worth a watch.
Oh, definitely. There's all kinds of stuff in there. They're going to try to put some better tooltips in so that you can know what the traits are actually doing, as opposed to, I don't even know what this means.
You mean like Archive of the Titans?
Well, once people figured it out, it was fairly obvious. But
once other people explained what Blizzard was doing.
Yeah, it definitely needed a bit, but I was thinking more like the PvP ones. Some of them then more like, I don't understand. They're bringing new traits in 8.1. Some of them are going away. Blah 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 blah. They're looking at tank balance because Death Knight Brewmaster seemed to be the go-to in terms of everything.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like in our experience, that's borne out about the same, hasn't it? When we've had warrior tanks, they've felt slightly squishy, and we've had paladin tanks. They're super level unless they run out of what's the thing?
Whatever their cooldown, their defensive is, yeah.
Yeah.
Shield of Righteousness,
you know what I'm
I think. Yeah, I know what it
Yep,
is.
SOR.
Yeah.
So it's just like the consistency compared to Brewmaster's Stagger and DK's Blood Shield, Blood Strike. Still, those are it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Druids can be pretty beefy.
It depends,
but they don't really have mitigation.
It depends on the fight. They have enough health that it makes up for a lot of it. But it depends on the type of damage they're taking, I think, for Druids. Warriors, same. They just need the cooldowns, and they just don't have it right now. So that's why no one's playing them. But with Death Knights, you just got the self-healing and the shields. And then Brewmaster, I mean, you got your Stagger, which is always going to be OP, no matter what you do with it.
So far, yeah.
It's always the case. It's always OP. Because you're like, I could take all this damage, but instead I'll take this little bit, and then all this damage will be over time, but I can get rid of that with this other thing. So I'm actually taking way less damage than every other tank, except for Blood DKs, who are still taking it mostly, kind of, but they can heal themselves more than any other.
Right.
Yeah. So it's obviously those are the two OPs.
And with the Druid tanks, like I said, that when I heal Druid tanks, their health pool just it's so big that you can't catch up easily. So, like, if they're down at 20%, you have to just hose them with heals to get them back up. But they take those big hits, and it's a chunk instead of the whole life bar.
Sounds like your shaman needs more mastery if you can't get them up over 20%.
No, I think I do pretty well on that. But the thing is, just because the mastery buff gives it to you there, you don't do a percent of their health. You do a chunk. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
That's the difference.
I was picking on you.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. Warfronts are going to be all at the same time, but the way they're trying to make it work, so if Alliance is attacking one, they're defending the other one. So basically, you're only going to have access to one or the other. You're not going to have access to both at the same time, is what I got. They don't want you to go in as a raid because they don't want you to sit around for 20 minutes doing nothing. This is what they actually said. You will, if you go in as a raid, you will blow through everything faster than your resource gathering can do. You will be sitting there, everything except for the end captured, and waiting to get all three of those catapults.
That sounds like a horrible problem to have.
I still think they could up the difficulty, which I always thought they were going to do anyway. But,
there's a lot they can do there. They can change or add optional things that can only be accomplished if you're ahead of pace. There's ways of tuning it up or making things more interesting than just telling you can't queue with a bunch of your friends.
I mean, you can still queue with a few people. You just can't go in a raid group. So I guess you can go in as 5. And, it'll help because you can go in as a tank, a healer, and 3 DPS, and you can still go around and get everything quick. Not as quick as if the whole group was with you, but still.
Just go all monks and just
and you can do it
through the whole thing.
Paladins can do it too. Same as druids. They got asked about the world first race since they're going to have different boss orders, and they basically said, "We didn't make the world first race. You guys did, so it's up to you to figure it out." Best answer they could have given, to be honest, for that question. RP servers, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. If you're on an RP server and you care, then obviously you care, but it's more of a if it's current content, it's got a shard because that's just how the game works. If it's old stuff, then you're good. They're still looking at different ways to do Mythic Pluses. And then the big news for anyone doing the war campaigns, they're going to change the amount of rep you get to make you go faster. So you'll be able to get the 5th follower person faster. Great change.
I don't even think I've gotten through all mine yet. I don't even think I've gotten all my factions done yet.
Well, on my alt, I am revered or better with everybody. Because you do 4 or 5 or however many world quests, eventually you're going to get everybody up. But in terms of the campaign, I finished that on my alt. I managed to get through it. So that was nice. So I got that done. But yeah, fun. There's more to the Q&A. But like we said, we suggest you just go and watch it. It's an hour long.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
You don't have to watch it. You can listen to it. So go do that. Another thing they did this week was the emissary caches, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. There's a chance that your Azerite caches can go all the way up to 370, which is great.
Right?
As long as the traits on them don't suck. Because depending on
the 370 items.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the class, the traits mean more than the item level of the armor.
Yeah. So, like, if you've got a raid item that's a 355, and you pull out a 370, and you're having to sacrifice raid traits for non-raid traits, and they're that big of a difference, it's a waste anyway.
Well, if you have all 3 from Azerite pieces from raid, if you're lucky, you'll have 2 of one of the traits and 1 of the other one, and then the 370 that you could get would just be the one you have 2 of. Now,
right.
The raid traits don't stack per se, but they do enhance each other. So the Archive of the Titans, it doesn't stack, but it does they do interact together a little bit. So it's not like a full, it buffs you for this much, and if you have 2 of them, it does twice as much. No, it just extends the time frame on it a little bit. And the same as Laser Matrix, which is the weirdest freaking thing. We don't want you to pull AoE, but here's something that will freaking pull AoE, so you can't always blame the hunter anymore.
Yeah.
Although it's still probably the hunter's fault with Barrage.
We don't even know, hardly anyone has Barrage anymore because of that.
I know a lot of hunters that still have it. I can guarantee you for a fact, as of this Friday, Scott Johnson still uses Barrage. Knowing it's probably not the best trait to use, or talent, but he still uses it because he likes it. And he may have pulled actually a couple trash pulls a couple times. But, there's that. But, anyway, I've got a 360 helm from Raid. I got a 370 helm from my cache today. So I went over to sim it because I have to sim because there is no what's better. You have to sim at this point. And I looked it up. I was like, oh, this 370 is actually better. Unless,
well, there you go. Congratulations.
Unless I'm in Raid. So out in the world, it's better. In Raid, it's not. It's like...
First world problems for you, Draven.
I know. Well, this is my problem because I try to min-max to my best ability of what I've got. Like, I'm obviously never going to get Mythic Titan Forged everything. You know, full sets and stuff like that. So I'm not going to min-max perfectly. But for what I get, I'm trying. Like, I'm not spamming King's Rest as much as I was because at this point, I needed the Titan Forge. to get that weapon, and it's
Okay.
just not worth the time and effort because I've got a 1 in 100 chance of getting that item, and then I've got a 1 in 100 chance of getting it high enough that it was worth that time. So it's 1 in a freaking, I think, 10,000 chance. I'm just like, no, the amount of effort it takes, no. I'm not doing that. But
Oh my god, dude.
yeah, I did the math. Yeah, so I just. But anyway, they loosened the requirements to get the 370 catch. I think you got to be 360, 365 to get the 370 Azerite pieces. If you are below 350 I think it's 357, you're still getting 355. So it's got some weird numbers to it because my Demon Hunter is still getting 355. So I need to get some extra pieces on that. But it is what it is. Maybe it just didn't proc.
Look.
Yeah, might have just didn't proc high enough. I don't know. So yeah, that was fun. But it is there. There was a screw up where people who should have gotten it because their item level was higher than that was getting 340, 350 still. It was just a bug in the coding that they fixed. So, and then they loosened the restriction a little bit. So now people like me, 365 level, is still getting it. So yay! And then Island Expeditions.
Yes.
I'm going to open that page just to be 100% sure I don't screw this up. Basically, someone, and we're theoretically, he's right. We haven't been able to confirm this entirely. And by we, I mean everyone as a whole. Targeting these special creatures in a island expedition can get you the extra things.
Right.
So basically, if you want the Mount Squawks, which is the bird parrot, you want to be during the Rotting Mire when it contains pirates.
So I saw this in action, but that's obviously a anecdotal case where the group I was with intentionally went out and killed the elites and disregarded the main point because it was going to be accomplished throughout the course of killing the elites. But they were targeting the elites because they wanted to take these drops. And we did get some of these drops, like not in huge quantities, but they corresponded to or seemed to correspond to some of the elites we killed. So, anecdotally confirmed?
Yeah, it's not officially confirmed, but it might as well be at this point. So, if you want items, like there's a mount from the Mogu. There's a candle, which I got from Kobolds. You find out, go over to Wowhead, you find out what's out there, what they've got. Like each kind has their own drops. You can go over, like, hey, Wowhead has this nice little thing. You go over there, you see what you're fighting, and you see what they got. If you want it, yay, focus on them.
So, like, the crabs drop either scuttle, there's two things, scuttle or sandshell critters, which are both battle pets. But to tell you the truth, Scuttle is phenomenally more interesting. He's a pirate crab with a bottle of rum that he's drinking, which is fantastic. So it's a crab with a pirate hat and the bottle of rum. So, yeah, things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's cool.
Everything has a chance to drop something, but like the special things that show up, like the pirate invasions where they got their little boats and they come up on land. Whenever you kill certain things, sometimes you'll get a portal. Go in the portal! Always go in the portals! Every time. Go in the portal.
I haven't seen a portal yet. Have you seen a portal yet?
I've seen a portal once, and my group
Did you go in the portal?
I went in the portal, and I could not solo the thing because it was a 3-man boss. They would not come in, and I got it to like 60%, or I took 60% off. It was at 40%.
Why wouldn't they go in the portal? That's
I
dumb.
was like, no, come in the portal. Listen to the special. I was like, it doesn't give any Azurite. I was like, I know it doesn't, but it gives you other things. So yeah, it was.
If someone asks if you're a god, you say yes. If there's
Kinda.
a portal,
Go
in it.
Yes, if you're in an island expedition and you see a portal pop up, go in the freaking portal. If you want special items, if you're just going to fill out Azurite, fine, but go in the portal anyway. Be nice to the people.
The portal.
Yeah, it's not cool. I've seen the sky go dark and like old god stuff showed up. I mean, they've got drops. I mean, every special thing in there has drops. So just don't. If you're trying to collect these things, one, go in with a group, because if you go in with just random people, you're going to get done just quick. Because they're not going to want to do it unless you go into the group. But go in the portal.
The loot table for the islands, by the way, is massive. I'm looking at it right now on Wowhead, and it's fantastic. Like just opening up all the boxes, there is a ton of stuff.
That there is. I mean, it's just insane how much stuff is in there, and it's going to take. It reminds me of the Timeless Isle. How much stuff there is.
And some of them don't have things yet, but they're continuously tweaking this stuff.
I mean, they haven't because something in the list just means they haven't confirmed it. I'm assuming that they have it.
So, like under the category of tigers, there may be a tiger, but maybe someone hasn't both confirmed and then listed it, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the moral of the story. There, just go in the portal.
Go in the portals.
Kill the special. Just kill the special stuff, especially if you're on normal or heroic. Why
wouldn't you do the thing? Do the thing.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you're gonna win anyway. So why not get some cool items out of it that either if it's a quest item, fine, it's a junk quest, but it's still worth like 70, 80 gold for a few seconds of travel time.
Right. So
if it's a pet, you could crate it up and sell it. More money. If
you've done 10 island expeditions, I've done more than 10. I've never seen a portal. So if it's like 1 out of 20 that you see a portal.
Okay, so portals are rare. It's like a rare spawn. But like other things, there's bad luck protection on them. So even if you don't see them, you will eventually see one.
But the premise is, don't waste it by not doing it.
Exactly.
Just do another expedition right after it to get the Azurite you wanted to collect. You're still getting the points towards your total for doing the island anyway.
If you're in a mythic or a PvP, I can understand not going in and doing some of these things. But if you're in a heroic or normal, you are going to blow the other side out of the water anyway, so do it. I think it does give you Azurite anyway towards your goal. So why not?
Show title. When you see a portal, use it.
Just go in the portal, yeah. So
just do it.
Yeah.
Portals, just do it.
Do we have any WoW predictions for BlizzCon?
I think there's going to be some WoW predictions. I think they may they're going to introduce or they're going to highlight another raid tier for this expansion. I think either a zone or something significant story wise.
I think but
it's going to be related to current content.
I think we're going to get next content.
You think they're going to preview or tease the next X-Pack?
No, X-Pack. No. Next content, next patch. I think what we're going to see...
That's what I meant.
We're going to see we're going to get, like... Right now we know of the 2 raids, and that's it. And the Naga invasions and stuff like that.
Right.
I think we're going to get Najatar. They're going to show,
Najata.
or like we're going to get a new island or something that we can go to, and just like Argus and Broken Shore and stuff like that, it's going to be a new area to go to. How big it is, who knows? But I'm guessing it'll be Najatar just because they did mention the Naga incursions and stuff like that. So, yeah. I think that's what we're going to... They're going to give us some information on what we're going to get for the next patch after the raid. And, yeah, we're going to Najatar. And it's going to... The next raid will be down there.
Hopefully, Stormwind won't be wiped out by a tsunami from the Naga.
I don't think it'll be Stormwind. I think Borealis is going to have some issues.
Borealis.
The Alliance Zone. Since the Horde is getting a raid zone in their area again. Hi, Orgrimmar 2.0. Kind of. Not really, but still. You understand what I'm saying, at least I hope.
Yep. No,
and so far, Alliance have had none of that. Outside of when you fought Garrosh, it was outside Stormwind on Mythic only. And even then, it was all old gaudy, voidy stuff.
Right.
I think...
With all the Alliance heroes on pikes.
And the Horde heroes, too.
Sort of.
They were all there,
yes.
Except for Garrosh.
Well, obviously, Garrosh was busy.
He was busy getting his butt kicked, yeah. I think part of... We're going to get a cinematic. I don't think it'll be shown at BlizzCon, the cinematic, obviously.
Okay.
Unless it is the patch introduction cinematic. Then maybe, but I doubt it. But I think we'll get a cinematic in-game that is going to be a tidal wave towards Borealis. Nothing we can do. Part of Borealis gets destroyed. For the rest of the game. Kind of like...
there is a lot of empty space in Borealis.
Yeah, well, I was thinking more in terms of, if you remember Valley of the Four Winds, how when that opened, that last raid, the entire zone changed. I think they're going to do the same thing, except for it'll be Borealis this time instead of a zone. It'll be the Alliance hometown.
I think they may not push as much as far as big reveals at BlizzCon. I think that World of Warcraft will have the least number of big reveals as far as what the future holds. But I think you're right that they will have something, like I said, from the current Battle for Azeroth, but it's going to be a future tier or a future, something coming up in Battle for Azeroth, not like a future X-Pack.
Yeah, when I said
because
future,
I feel like, right, I feel like they're going to be highlighting other games as the major news.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yep. Question from chat room. Do we think there's going to be anything about the Diablo Netflix series? Probably. I think they're going to announce that it's there. I don't think that they're going to announce a time frame, except for maybe it'll be next year.
Okay.
Maybe 2020. But, I mean, you might get a teaser for it. Like, it'll be an anime-style D for Diablo, and it'll have, like, a picture of the town. And that'll be it. You're not going to get any real content out of it. But I think they will announce it.
Agree.
Right. Any other BlizzCon related things?
Nope. I think anything else I'll do in the wrap up.
Yeah. Because I got nothing else. Obviously, if any information comes out between now and BlizzCon, we will update our predictions as needed. Yeah, they still haven't announced the band.
Well, last year was what, Weird Al?
Last year was Muse.
Muse. Was Weird Al 2 years ago?
Yes.
Nice.
So, do you have any idea? I have honestly not even gone looking for who's going to be in that general area. I think last year was music-wise, that was the reset year, so that now they can move up from Muse. I know that's
brutal.
Bad way of phrasing it, but in terms of famous, Muse is not huge. You might know a song from them, but you don't know it's them. They were from, as I understand it, they're in car commercials and stuff like that. I'd never heard of them prior to that. I was like, who's Muse? And people are like, oh my god, I love Muse. They're in this commercial. Oh, I don't watch TV.
All right, you know what? I will pitch a.
Or is there no band this year? That could be another thing. Because everything else seems to be downsizing.
I'm seeing a bunch of guesses out here. The one that I thought might make sense is Smash Mouth, as far as the things on the forums. But if I had to give like a legit, if I had to say, hey, who could you get? It would be Greta Van Fleet. I think would be, if they could get Greta Van Fleet, that would be awesome. Do you know of them?
I have heard the name. I probably have heard a song, but much like Muse, don't know. I can't name a single song from them.
So, Greta Van Fleet is a band that authentically sounds like Led Zeppelin. And when I say authentically sounds, is that when they do Zeppelin covers, it sounds like Led Zeppelin. But their original music sounds like modern music if Led Zeppelin was like the original band putting out music today. So that's pretty awesome. And they're not designed to be that way, but they're a modern young band. And they could both do, they're not too big for their own britches yet, but you know what I mean? Like something like that would be pretty cool. Because I feel like it's not a cover band. They're not a cover band, but when they do Led Zeppelin covers, because they have a good sound like that, that would be, they could do a little the old, little the new. A lot of people would enjoy that, I think. So you go, okay. Greta Van Fleet.
So I just did a real quick search of who's going to be in that general area. Bruno Mars is going to be in Southern California.
That's silly.
During that same time frame. I'm not saying it's going to be them. Panic at the Disco is going to be right around then.
That would be an excellent pick, but Panic at the Disco is peaking right now. They're like one of the most popular bands on the pop charts. So that makes them unlikely. They're too big.
Yeah. Well, they did get Metallica, and admittedly Metallica is not as arguably as popular now, but
Metallica is way past its peak. Not saying they're bad. Metallica's awesome. No complaints here. But yeah, I don't think they're going to find a peak current group for an off year.
Yeah. I'm literally on a website right now scrolling through for the California area, and there are so many venues. This takes forever.
Yep.
I'll have to update for next week.
All right, we'll take some. See if we can maybe get some people to tweet us.
You know what's gonna happen between now and then. They're gonna name somebody.
They're just gonna name it.
They're gonna name who it is. Well, I would imagine probably Tuesday.
Maybe that's a takeaway. Chat room, and maybe we'll push something out on Twitter. Tweet us who you think at Epic Fail Podcast. Correct.
It is Podcast Epic Fail actually.
At Podcast Epic Fail, tweet your band prediction.
Yes.
Maybe there will be some sort of reward of some kind if you get it right. Without knowing, you can't do a certainty.
Yeah, if it's already
it has to be a prediction.
If they announce it, there's no reward whatsoever. But if you get it early, then maybe see what we can figure out.
Figure something out. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I guess that's going to be a show. So as usual, we have shout-outs and contact information and all that fun stuff. So, Gelf, you first.
All right. First off, not only a shout-out to Vex, who went 6 for 8 heroic on Tuesday, but knocked out Mithrax on Thursday, although I was not there for that. So they're doing a great job.
That's why they killed it.
I've been with them for more progression kills than not over the last half a decade. But fire department did really slick. Monday got Zool as a progression kill. Wednesday came in, did the last 4 of 8, last 3 of 8 normal, and then plowed out 4 of 8 heroic anyway, the hard way. So it
Yeah.
sets up a really good Monday for us.
Yeah, we had issues with one of our tanks didn't show up, which we weren't expecting that day. Like we thought we had another week, or you guys. I should probably rephrase that. The people who knew thought we had another week.
He gave us like a 2-week window, so it was a shocker. Like we were expecting it 2 weeks away, and it happened 2 days.
Yeah.
Which is fine. He's a great guy, no complaints. But we weren't expecting that yet. So I was healing for the fire department. Theory was tanking.
You were healing because Howland was out for the night.
Right. Yep.
And then when Howland showed up, you just stayed healing because you did just as much DPS as a healer as you do your hunter.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. But I made a technical error when Howland showed up. But the point was that was just a fresh pull on Zach Foz. We'll get him on Monday easy.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It was just one of those fluky fun things that people were in roles they weren't expecting to be on necessarily, and we still hacked out a pretty impressive night. So
I'm just glad you didn't ask me to tank because you're like, no, I know you've got weapon because you were in that wrong spec that fight.
Yeah, so that was my shout out. Good job to the raid teams. Still progressing. Still making things happen every week. So, yeah. How about you, Draven?
Well, how do people get a hold of you first?
Oh, yeah. Twitch.tv/Galvanid. If you're on Twitter, Galvanid Online is my Twitter handle. And then there's a couple of ways to get a hold of me via Discord, Galvanid, and some other stuff like that in game. Galvanid on Thunderlord and on Airy Peak. There is a new thing I'm trying out for a friend called Gilded, which is sort of a... we'll see if it pans out. That would be a new way to get a hold of me as well, but still Galvanid. How about you, Draven?
Okay, well, instead of shout-out, since you did pretty much everything I could do, because in terms of WoW time, I've done the daily emissary and raid, and that's been about it, other than going back and farming old stuff for mounts that don't drop. So instead of a shout-out, I'm just going to say, happy birthday, Lore. It is still your birthday where you live, even though it is not where I live. So, yay. October 13th.
He's not playing right now.
Nope.
Streaming. He's probably off doing birthday stuff.
Yeah, he's out doing birthday stuff. He streamed earlier. So,
Gotcha.
happy birthday, Lore. I don't care what anyone says. Lore. I still think the Q&As are great, despite...
Happy birthday to you. Q&As are great, Lore.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks so.
Well,
no one complains.
Not everyone, but people's opinion.
It's birthday.
The opinions of people who matter. They're good. If you look at Twitch chat, nobody likes them. But so yeah, that'll be my shout out. It'll just be happy birthday, Laura. In terms of getting a hold of me, at Draven Dresden over on Twitter is the easiest. As long as you're polite/civil, great. That's all I care. Don't be rude or anything like that. And we can have a conversation on almost any topic. There are some that I'm going to look at you like, no. And then I will block you because that's just not topics you need to have. As for the show, first off, you can find the opening theme song, bensound.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. AKA, give them credit. You can use their stuff for free. There's some stuff you have to pay for. I almost bought some. But I chose this one because I've mentioned the story before. I don't need to go into it. But there's great stuff over there. Go over there. There's really cool music. And you can use it for free as long as you give them credit. Other than that, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/podcastepicfail. If you want to throw $1 per month at the show, $2, $5, $50, $100, whatever you want. I will look at you like you're insane if you go anything, well, really anything. But if you go too high, I will be like, what are you doing? But it will always be appreciated. It helps out way more than you could ever imagine. And I will always thank you. And regardless, it's just, thank you. Discord, bit.ly/epicfail Discord. Join us in our Discord. We can have conversations there. Galv's even in there if you, for whatever strange reason, want to talk to him. I don't know why you would. I don't know why I talk to him every week, but, there's that.
Sometimes you talk to me with your mic off, but that's okay.
That's usually
And,
when I have the better conversation with you, honestly.
And it's not, by the way, just so you know, Draven doesn't spend all that Patreon money on epic fail billboard places.
Yeah, apparently someone, Frasley, found another sign near a movie theater. And
That was pretty impressive.
I was like, I don't remember paying for that.
Supplementary shout out to Frasley for finding that one, because that was impressive.
Yeah.
Frasley for finding that one. That's impressive.
I just thought it was funny. He sent me that, and I was like, I was on my phone. I just happened to be in an area I had internet at the time. I was like, I've got that picture from January. So I sent him that back. He's like, oh my God, that's amazing. So that was a fun couple minutes that we had. And then he found another one. And I was like, yeah. So that was fun. But anyway, I digress. Do you have any last words for the show?
If you see a portal, go in it. That's kind of like a PSA, right?